He's gonna say some things. Cafes and flares. He's gonna say some things. Cafes and flares. You may not agree. Cafes and flares. He's still gonna say those things. Cafes and flares. Cafes and flares. Thasso's talk Cyprus football. Woo!
Oh, hello there. This is a new thing, isn't it? Ooh. Now, this is going to be a thing that I'm going to try to do. It's a little bit extra for people. It means we might be able to shorten down this is Mappa a little bit because Stel won't have to listen to me go and it's only going to work properly if I'm able to kind of spit out my opinions on these bits of news, kind of pretty sharpish after things happen. So obviously we've had the international break, and following the end of that international break, which as of recording this thing is November 2024, we've learned a couple of major things that need to be discussed while they're still fresh. Now I'm going to lead off with the negative before the positive. And we're going to concentrate on the negative because I've realised that's what gets at the clicks. It gets at the clicks when we talk about what makes us angry. So, speaking of clicks, click that like button, do the little subscribe, tickle the little bell, comment, do all the engagement things. Click, 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 click. Now back to the matter at hand. The matter at hand, the right hand, if you will. The Cypriot national team has got a big old problem on the right side of defence. It's a gap that your friend specifically, Tamuri Getsbayer, tried to fill with as many people as possible. It's a gap that he had a big old problem with. He really liked pounding 2 square pegs in that round hole. Pause for the innuendo. Okay, I've given you enough time to recover from that amazing joke I just did. Anyway, it's looking like it's an area of concern, that right back position for Sofroni as well. So, what I've done is I've done a list of players that have basically been used in that right back position for the last 2-3 years. So we're going to look at the players that your friend Getsbayer used in that right back, right wing back, right midfield, attack midfield, whatever position he thought it was, whatever role he decided to give that player in that ultra defensive right back position. So we've got Stelios Andreu, who's a 22-year-old centre back at Belgian club RC Charleroi. Minas Andoniu, a 30-year-old right back currently playing at Garmiodissa, who was at Anorthosis at the time when that bold fraud first picked him. Andreas Banayodou, aka Filiotis. I don't know what that business is about. Maybe there's too many Banayodus about. But anyway, Filiotis is a 29-year-old right back, currently at AL, but was at Apollon when your friend Getsbayer first picked him. Michalis Ioannou, who's a 24-year-old central midfielder at Anorthosis. Marios Antoniadis, who's a 34-year-old centre-back who was at Doxa at the time. Hampos Kyriakou, a 29-year-old defensive midfielder at Apollon. Danilo Spoljaric, who's a 25-year-old defensive midfielder at Apollon. And Yannis Sachas, who's a 21-year-old central midfielder at Apoel. That's 8 different options in 20 games. And only 2 of them were actual, no swearing, right backs, right? At least Sofroni is playing players in the position that they are supposed to be. Although I will add, a persistence on Andreas Garo at right back is a bit worrisome, as we saw against Romania and Kosovo as well. No, it wasn't great. He's not great at right back. So he's used Minaz Andoniu. He's used Mario Stilianu, who's a 31-year-old right back at Ethnikos Akhnas, and Andreas Garo, who I just mentioned, is a 28-year-old centre back at Maccabi Petach Tikva. So your man Avusti, not your friend gets by, but my friend Sofronis Avusti has played 3 different players in that position in the 4 games he's been in charge of. So, kind of in conclusion of that little review of that list, we have a problem. As a national team, Cyprus has a big problem in that right back position. Because what other options does a national team coach of Cyprus have other than the players already mentioned? Now, in my opinion, there's a big old hole the shape of Nea Salamina's Sergiu in that position. He's a young-ish attacking right back. He's 24 now, but he's been playing at Nea Salamina and has been a club captain as well for a very long period of time. Now, again, the bold fraud, that's your friend in particular, you person watching this, he's your best friend. He has a bias of playing Nea Salamina players. I say has. He had a bias of playing Nea Salamina players because obviously he's got a big old connection with Anorthosi. And, it's chalk and cheese kind of thing. Now, because of that, he's not been picking him, and he was playing central midfielders in that position, as is normal. Now, he's got 100. So Sergio's got 128 appearances for Nea Salamina with 1 goal and 6 assists. Assists, plural assists. Now, he's right there for the picking, except his form so far this season has been disappointing. I think a lot of Nea Salamina fans, and I'm pretty sure Sergio himself will say that. And he's had a few weeks on the sidelines as well. So his position in the national team, up until this point, I wouldn't have picked him based off of his performances. However, he's got until March to fix that form, play blinders, and get himself into that national team. However, it's a 14-team league. There must be some more options elsewhere. And there is. I mean, a couple of the options we've talked about are there already. So you've got Filiodis and Andoniu. But between Sergiu, Filiodis, and Andoniu, we have a player Salamina, Akarimotissa, and Ael. There's also Stilianu, who is at Achna, who's also been played. Now that's 4 of the 5 worst defences in the Cyprus League by Stishiman at the moment. So we've got a couple of players to keep an eye on. One of them is Andreas Shikis, who's at Omonia Radipu, who's currently playing in the Cyprus under-21s as well. And we've seen that Sofroni likes to keep an eye on those players. I mean, Sachas got picked last international break, even though he's not been playing for Abuel. But, he played a blinder for the under-21s in October. So why not pick him? And there's pictures of Sofroni being there watching the under-21s. Something again that your friend Gespaya wasn't doing. Now, however, a couple of things about Shikis. One, he's going to be aged out of the under-21s by the next qualification tournament, since he is 22. He has 62 appearances for Moniaradipo, however most of them were in the second division. He has been a very good player for them so far. However, we had 4 of the 5 worst defences in the league. With Moniaradipo added in there, we've got all 5. Now, there's a few other players we can look at as well. You've got Fotis Kotsonis at Paralimni, who has 7 appearances so far this season. And he's one of the few players at Paralimni who hasn't had a red card yet. People who've been watching this is Mappa will know that that's a rare thing at Paralimni at the moment. He's been through the youth setup in the national teams as well, and he's currently, again, turning out for the under-21s. And Paralimni have a history of youth players making their way to bigger and better things. Look at Michalis Constantino. You've got Artemadas, who's the captain at the moment of the national team. Laifis. You've got Yasumis. Spiro at right back again. Gastanos. There's a list of players. Now, as well as those two, you also have Francis at AL, you've got Pantelia at Karmiodissa, Ioannou at Achna, and Psaltis at 2 Omonia 2 Furious. But again, the defensive record of those 3 teams is terrible at the moment. Francis sits behind Filiodis, Pandeli behind Antonio, and Ioannou is behind Stylianou. And then Psaltis is playing for the team that's bottom of the table at the moment. Now, there's obviously other solutions as well. So you could dig around in the Charlie box, like what the under-19s and the under-21s have been doing at the moment. Except there's not really a Charlie right back that's suitable for the national team, which is a shame, because the last consistent right back in the national team for Cyprus was Jason Dimitriou, the ultimate Charlie. But it turns out no. So there's one more option that we can take, and that's to have a look and see if there is a foreign right back that's close to being able to get hold of a Cypriot passport, and if he's close, to try and help him get that Cypriot passport. So who can do that? I've been through all the teams in the Cyprus League by Stishiman, and the only one I can find is Bruno Santos at Apollon. He was at AL for 2.5 seasons, and after his transfer to Apollon from the team he moved from AL to back to Cyprus, he's basically been, almost been, it would be January, a year at Apollon as well, which means he's 1.5 years off getting the requisite 5 years for that Cypriot passport. The problem being that when he gets there, he's going to be 33 years old. So even then, it's not a long-term solution to this right-back problem. And I have no more answers for you for what we have at right-back. Now, the good thing is, all those players that I mentioned, in the younger players, the players playing at the teams I already mentioned, they've got 6 months to prove that they are the solution. So it's up to them. So let's drop the gauntlet. Knock it out of the park. Performance-wise, drive yourself. If you want to play for the national team and you're a right back, now is the time to start dropping performances. Maybe if you do well enough until January, maybe you get a transfer to one of the big teams as well. There's options. But you could definitely get some appearances for the national team if you're a Cypriot right back. And you turn Sofroni's head enough for him to pick you. Because please, we can't be playing Garo at right back anymore. Or Andreu. Andreu's not a right back. This is a transition. However, so concentrated on the negative. There is some positive stuff as well that happened in that we saw. And it's Sofroni's concentration on getting an attacking team going. That 20-minute spell against Romania, when it was 2-0, before it back to 2-1, Bitas was one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Fantastic save from the goalkeeper that got himself injured. There was another couple of chances. Loizu in the first half megged a defender, got a fantastic cross into the box. It just needed somebody just ding, and it would have gone in, but it went through Johnny's legs as he was running through. Fantastic performance from the team until the said injury from the Romanian goalkeeper kind of took the wind out of the team's sails. And then, of course, Laif's second yellow card, who I equally blame Artimadas for. Like, both of them together, they ruined the game for Kipro. But the positive thing, again, we're talking about positives at the end of this, is that we finally have a coach that understands Cyprus's strength is the forward line, and we should concentrate on that rather than playing central midfielders in an ultra-defensive right-back role. What we need now, I mean, tactically as well, he played this 4-4-2 against Romania, which blew everybody's mind. I think the only thing that he got wrong was that he played Gagulis in left midfield and tried to play Johnny's in a free role behind Sodiriu, when in theory he should have flipped that round. And when Johnny's went into that left midfield role in the second half, absolutely dominated for that first 20 minutes, and we could have be winning that game 3-2 by the time the injury to the Romanian goalkeeper happened. But alas, such is the way that football works. But again, positives. There's positives to come for March. There's a couple of comments that has happened since the game. Marius thinks we're gonna win the World Cup in 2026. We will, if we fix that right back position. Now, that's me done for this moment. So, because I'm done, I'm going to do all the little things. Remember, we've got This is Mappa on Twitter. We've got This is Mappa on Instagram. We've got Fles Kafes on Twitter and Instagram. And you'll be able to find me on Blue Sky as well, lads. Blue Sky. You know what Blue Sky is? Check it out. It's like a non-hellscape version of Twitter. So yeah, Fles Kafes on that as well. Anyway, until next time. Bye-bye.